Senator Hatch.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Lopez, traditionally, the Office of General Counsel has published an annual report that details its litigation activities. However, a report has not been published since 2010. Why did these reports stop being published?
Really due to resources, Senator, to be honest, due to resources. We don't have extensive resources in headquarters. We went through a 2.5-year period where there was enormous staff attrition, and really the ethic of the program has always been that when we had an opportunity to get positions, which is very rare, we would put those positions out in the field because a lot of the field offices are really underwater.
Well, if reconfirmed, would you commit to publishing these reports each year because they're helpful to us?
Yes.
Okay. The EEOC received a charge on October 16, 2014, and filed suit on October 27, 2014, alleging that an employer's wellness plan violated the Americans with Disabilities Act and the Genetic Information Non-Discrimination Act, or GINA.
Yeah.
Given the time lapse of 11 days, how did the EEOC investigate and conciliate this case before they filed it?
Are you talking about the Honeywell matter, Senator? The Honeywell matter, okay.
So, aren't we?
As I mentioned, the Honeywell matter, we went in for temporary relief. And the way that the agency is structured is that if a district director, now the district directors are under the chair, if the district director believes a temporary relief is necessary in order to obtain, to complete the investigation, the ongoing investigation, then the general counsel can go into court and seek temporary relief. And the reason that I keep emphasizing that this is not a merit suit, the court said that. The court said this is not a merit suit when the court ruled in Honeywell, because we were not going in there asking for damages. We were not going in there asking for the end of the wellness program, and we were not asking them to stop testing. All we were asking is that they not impose penalties so that any disclosure of medical information could truly be voluntary. Remember, in this case, the disclosure of medical information included the submission of blood samples. So that really kind of elevated it in terms of the way that we looked at the case.
Let me just ask us a little bit further, see if I can get more information on it. As this involves a novel area of the law and contradicts how other cabinet-level agencies interpret wellness plans under the Affordable Care Act, why was the litigation not submitted to the commissioners for review prior to the filing?
And under the Commission's regulations, first of all, the Commission under ADA and GINA has the statutory right to go in and seek temporary relief. Under the Commission's regulations that pre-existed my tenure, the General Counsel has been delegated the authority to go in and seek temporary relief, presumably because of the ease of getting into court, or the quickness in terms of getting into court. So that had already been delegated. So what we did in that case was consistent with the authority under the EEOC's regulations.
Okay. Now, the relative minimal number of cases referred to the Commission during your tenure as General Counsel has been referred to, I think, a number of times during this hearing. In addition, as demonstrated by court decisions, EEOC needs to do a better job of meeting its statutory obligations and figuring out which cases lack merit. Now, I've not heard how you review litigation from the field offices, so how many times have you rejected a litigation proposal from the field?
From the field offices?
Yeah.
I don't have a number, but we do reject litigation proposals from the field, and on occasion we'll send it back for further, for additional conciliation if we think that it's in the public interest. There is a pretty searching review that goes on in my office.
Well, that's great. Let me go to you, okay? And let me just ask you this one question. Employers are very concerned that lawsuits are moving forward on wellness plans before the EEOC issued any guidelines or issued any guidance explaining how wellness plans should be structured to avoid discrimination. As the EEOC is an enforcement agency of the federal government, how will you monitor the publishing of guidance to comply with the current law?
Thank you, Senator. First of all, let me say that I think it's clear that this is an area where guidance is necessary. It's in the interest of employers, it's in the interest of employees, and there are enough new obligations on businesses that it makes sense for the federal government to help them out on this one. In terms of finding the right way to issue guidance, I think it's extremely important to have input from everybody so that you know you're getting it right. This is a new statutory obligation on the business community. It's important to find the right balance, and there's a lot at stake. So I think making sure that there's a transparent process, that there's a process that allows the commission to really understand everyone's perspective and where the rubber hits the road, so that you have a very practical solution at the end of it, is something that would be important. So I think, I know that the commission works through public hearings and that sort of thing. Those are, the maximum amount of input on something like that makes sense to me.
Thank you. My time is up, Mr. Chairman.